A delegation of Ukrainian lawmakers are firing up members of Congress and pushing the Biden administration to go further with aid and sanctions. The all-female group described the realities on the ground in Ukraine in stark terms. At one point during the meeting, a blaring alarm sounded. One of the lawmakers said it was the air raid alarm in the Ukrainian community where her son is staying. She let the alarm continue, telling members of Congress that they needed to hear it. The Associated Press reports that lawmakers emerged from 2 days of meetings with their Ukrainian counterparts and kept up a largely unified front, with both Republicans and Democrats saying more funding would be needed beyond the nearly $14 billion in military and humanitarian aid recently approved. Joining us now, Democratic Congressman Jake Auchincloss of Massachusetts. Congressman, thanks for being here today. Last week, you and several of your House colleagues introduced something called Yachts for Ukraine aid. So, provocative title, tell us why it matters.
Now is the time to hit and to hit hard. Yachts for Ukraine is a clear and simple message to Russian oligarchs that regardless of where you are trying to hide your ill-gotten wealth, we are going to freeze and seize it, and we're going to use it to help humanitarian aid in Ukraine. It's part of a larger packet of proposals I put together in a 10-point plan more than a month ago, discussed it on this show with you. And in a classified briefing I attended yesterday with the administration, it's clear that these measures, amongst others, are working. The Russians are beginning to redeploy forces from around Kiev, the capital, towards the east, Donbass, where they have more strength. And that moment of transition is always the most vulnerable time for ground forces. They are in contact with their enemy, and yet they've got to redeploy logistics and command and control nodes, which are the most vulnerable elements of battalion-sized groups. We've got to step up paramilitary and intelligence support. We have got to step up our material aid to Ukraine, lethal and non-lethal, including the S-300s. And we've got to wage electronic war against Russian units. I've been a Marine officer. I've been a cybersecurity manager. I have seen how degrading it can be to ground forces when you undermine their ability to shoot, move, and communicate by jamming their radios, impairing their computer systems, and just generally demobilizing them.
And certainly the Russian forces seemed a bit in a moment of disarray now. But so the bill, though, the yacht, so is it seizing the yachts? How will this work? How are they tracked down? How does this happen?
It's empowering the president and his administration, who are already working with our allies overseas, to identify areas where Russian oligarchs are trying to store their wealth in very illiquid forms, like yachts, and empowering them to freeze and seize those yachts, and then further empowering them to transfer those gains towards direct humanitarian aid to Ukraine. And the message is really meant to buttress the wider administration message to the oligarchs: there is no place to hide.
So the Biden administration yesterday, after his phone call with President Zelensky, said that more aid would be heading to Ukraine. There is sort of a sense here that, as much as the allies are rallied together and putting this pressure on Putin, that at the end of the day, this war will end when he decides that it will, because he decides he finally will come to the negotiating table in good faith, which so far it seems like they have not. What are the other steps between now and then the administration could take to get Putin there?
The facts on the ground always drive 90% of the reality of diplomacy. And so we need to do the utmost to change the facts on the ground as they negotiate in Turkey to give Ukraine as much leverage as possible. That means, as we discussed, electronic warfare and other paramilitary and intelligence support to complement the S-300s and the air defense and materiel that we are sending to Ukrainian forces. It also critically means that we have to step up credible, comprehensive threats of sanctions against China should they provide an economic or military lifeline to the Kremlin. Cutting off that lifeline, or any hope of that lifeline, will severely undermine Putin's position.
And lastly, briefly, in the break, as you sat down, we were briefly talking COVID on the backs of my conversation with Juliana. You represent the suburbs of Boston. We're seeing some cases rise in parts of the country, New York City. What's the latest where you are?
The latest where I am is that we have not seen hospitalizations or cases rise materially. In 2022, we control COVID. COVID does not control us. We have the tools to track through wastewater and other leading indicators case counts. We have the tools to prepare should we see a variant that is going to lead to another surge in cases. We are not going to allow COVID in 22 to disrupt normal life. We have the tools to control this.
All right. Congressman Jake Auchincloss, thank you so much for being here today. Come back soon.